Last election, I was helping out in the Tampines GRC where NSP is contesting. Why did I choose Tampines as the place that I want to volunteer my time to help campaign? The reason is because of Ma Bao Tan. Okay, he's a lovely minister, and everywhere he goes, the government is very happy. Because when he goes to LTA, goes to Ministry of Transport, he invented this magic thing called COE. You know, without producing good things, with the COE, you can make a lot of money. And he also invented this ERP machine. It's a money-making machine, okay? And at lightning speed, it can make a lot of money. But it's not as creative as Facebook or Google. The money Facebook and Google make because of creative reasons. They make their entrepreneurship. But this minister, he created this thing called the ERP, and it's a money-making machine so that every time your car passes by, you will lightning speed, 闪电的速度, at lightning speed, it will make your money from your pocket. Okay? And this is the PAP style of creativity. It's not making a good company that makes money from the world, but they invented machines to make money from our people's own pocket. And after Ma Bao Tan went to Ministry of National Development, where he's in charge of HDB and public housing and all the housing, he decided to shorten the supply of public housing. Okay? And at the same time, they have imported a lot of people and PRs to buy HDB. And it costs a lot of trouble for young people to buy flats because the prices just shot through the roof. When I started my real estate job on 2007 to 2013, I've seen that the property price doubled. Okay, from like Balestier, the PSF, the private housing in Balestier was about $500 per square feet. In about last 2 years, it went about $1,000, $1,200 per square feet. Okay, how much the housing price has gone? How much the land cost has gone up? But at the same time, did our salary gone up from like the median income for about like 2008 to say 5,000? Did for the last 7 years, did any one of your income double? There may be a few, but according to statistics, our income has grown about 30 to 40% for about the last 5 to 10 years. But the housing price has gone up more than double or double. Okay, people say that, the PAP people always say that, oh, it's because Singapore is landlocked. We are a small island, so there's a scarcity of land. Okay, but I question them, but during this period, like 06 to now, so did Singapore land size shrink by half? You know, did our land size shrink by half? Because by the logic that you say is that because the housing price went up, shot through the roof, it's because of land scarcity. So by that logic, it means that our land size has shrunk by half, right? No, it didn't. In fact, our land size has increased. So what is the problem now? The problem now is because they want to make money, okay? They want to make money from housing. Okay, how does that go? And during our walkabout, we had gathered some feedback from residents and retail owners who told us that this coffee shop rental is from 7,000 to 15,000. So if you know your sums, if the rental is so high, so your coffee and your Cai Tao Gui or your old will have to increase their price, because who is going to pay for that? We met one resident who told us that her rent is 7,000. She runs a grocery store in the HDB shop house. Okay, and because of the high rent, she has to work every day without rest. And after making all the profits and all the collections of her sales from her groceries, there's not much left to save. She's an immigrant 20 years ago. She thought that Singapore was a good country, but for the last 5 to 10 years, life has been hell for her. Okay, imagine a job without any rest day. How does that go? And they always say that we do not work hard because you cannot afford things. You have low pay. It's because you are lazy. You don't work hard enough. Okay, but that is not true. Singaporeans work the hardest, even harder than Japan. We work longer than Japan. This is a survey done by international organization. So what they say is not true, and is not what we see and feel from the ground. And I think that because of my background in real estate, I know that the cost of building a condominium and a HDB flat is not a lot of difference. They are all made of bricks and the windows are glass. So can anyone tell me that what is exactly the difference? The difference is actually in design and some cosmetic things, okay? So, if I tell you that most of you here, you deserve to live in private house or private condominiums or apartment, would you believe that? They tell you that you don't deserve to live in a private house, okay? Because Singapore has 80% of private houses, HDB flat. They tell you that you don't deserve, and we believe in the lie that we don't deserve. But what is the difference between an HDB flat and an apartment? Not much of a difference. I used to have a friend I met in NS. He told me that he's an architect for HDB. Then I look at him, oh, architect for HDB. But then he says that, oh, I'm very embarrassed because of the lousy, ugly design done on HDB. I say, how so? He told me that because HDB always get the lowest bid for architecture. And they try to keep their cost low, and they try to sell at a very high cost. Okay? They did a slipshod job in designing our flat. By right, most of us live in private houses. Our houses should be well designed, without the corridor and such. And now what do we see? We see that our rooms are shrinking. A lot of people complain, or even young parents are complaining that you want us to give birth, but our children can't even put their study table in the room. So how can the children have a conducive environment to study well? And the rooms can't even fit, even the master bedroom can't even fit a king-size bed. So this is the progress that we have seen for this country. And they will say that you only know how to complain as an opposition, and you don't have solution. So these are some of my ideas on how to solve the problem and the issues. It's not complete, because to solve problems, it is a very complex solution. okay? But there are some ideas where we can explore. The most important thing is to have an ideology that housing is meant for living. It's not meant for speculative investment. Because our minister in the 80s and 90s told us that your house is an asset that can be used to be used for your retirement. Okay, so it created a bubble. It created a bubble that our housing price keep increase, and they thought that this could be at our end of retirement be used to cash out money from it. But the thing is that this is not feasible. Our housing price cannot keep increase. I suggest that we do away with all the rules, because when you buy a HDB flat, you cannot sell it within 5 years. This is against basic human rights. I can buy anything now today, I can sell it tomorrow as and when as I liked. But of course, the thing is that there's a lot of people who wants to speculate properties. I know of a lot of people, their dream is to be a owner of multiple properties so that they don't have to work and sit there and collect rent. Well, the other people who have to work very hard, I don't have to work. But people in Germany, they work hard to be a good engineer, to be a good scientist, and productive jobs. But in Singapore, a lot of people just want to make a quick killing in the market and buy as many property as possible and collect passive income. So do you want such a country? Do you want a country that builds its economy on bubble, on speculation? So with things like capital gain tax, we can have a good way to control the price. And like in Germany, every year they have a cap on the property price increase, like maybe 1% to 5%. Okay, that could be an effective method. So with all these measures in place, I believe most of Singaporeans by now should be able to own a private house. Because about 10 years ago, a 3-bedroom condominium only cost about 300 to 500,000 in an average location. But now, fast forward to now, we have to pay about 400 to 700 to 1 million for a 5-room apartment. No, a 5-room HDB flat. So what has improved? What has improved is the price, but not the actual thing. Okay, by right, the amount you pay, this huge amount you pay now, you should be able to afford to buy a private housing. Okay. And now I'd like to touch on a few myths that Singaporeans have believed in. We have heard of stories or some myths that say, yeah, don't complain, Singapore is a good country already. And you look at Malaysia or Indonesia, they are so much worse. But the thing is that, how does comparing to country that's worse than us make us better? Right? If you go to this handphone shop and complain, "Sir, my handphone display got problem. Can you help me to repair it?" Then he tell you, there's other phones that are worse. So don't complain. You still can see, right? So I'm not going to repair for you. Okay? You can still see, you still can use it. So this is a myth. And I don't know why we have to believe in such myth. And by right, we are educated people. We should be intelligent enough to differentiate what is intelligent and what is not. Lastly, I'd like to say that the PAP has told us that they only allow about 20 to 25% of university places for you and your children. And they tell you that you are not good enough to enter university. But we know that a lot of polytechnics graduate, when they have the means to go overseas to study, they are very welcome by those universities. And those without the means to overseas, they have to fight with foreigners who are graduated from second tier, third tier, fourth tier universities, or even people with fake degrees or degrees from degree mills. So they are making our people highly disadvantaged. Are we more lazy? Are we more stupid than others? No. We are being disadvantaged because of the policies of PAP. So, given that, our ideology should not be the economy, the people serve the economy, but the economy should serve the people. So with that vote in your hand, you have power. You have power to choose your future. You have the power to choose the flat you want to live. You have the power to choose the university you want to go. So the power is in your hand. So come September 11, put the cross on the fire, the torch of fire. People's Power Party. Vote for us. We want change. Vote for change.